Hello there, I'm Thomas Hatsios, the pilot captain flying the Boeing 777-300ER international flight from Zurich International Airport. We're going to be overflying Zurich, Switzerland, Germany, and then coming back to Switzerland, Zurich International Airport, runway 14 for landing for an Lszh localizer landing. So right now I'm in the cockpit for the pre-takeoff preparation of the Boeing 777-300ERX. So I'm going to start showing you the displays and the instruments of the Boeing 777-300ER airplane. So I'm gonna start with the primary flight display, the minimum airspeed displayed, the airspeed indicated, the ground speed. We have also the airspeed selected from the autopilot and flight director system panel. We have also the barometric altitude setting tape. We have the barometric pressure of the outside atmosphere. We have the rate of climb and descent of the aircraft in tens, hundreds, and thousands of feet per minute. We have the altitude, the target altitude select from the autopilot and flight director system panel. We have the radio altitude above the ground level. We have the magnetic heading on track. We have the magnetic north pole and true north pole magnetic variation depending on where we are in the globe. So we also have the altitude indicator with the flight director crossbars for manual guidance of the aircraft, and also we have the autopilot crossbars for automatic guidance of the aircraft. We have also the Lszh localizer crossbars, and we have the pitch ladder in decrease and the bank angle in decrease also. We have the flight mode annunciator with the autopilot and the auto throttle. Later on vertical navigation modes, we have the angle of attack of the aircraft. We have the navigation display that displays the airports, the waypoints, the nav aids, the GPS position of the aircraft, the inertial reference position of the aircraft. We have the route map, the route that we create using the flight management computer with the departure airport and runways, and the arrival destination airports and runways, and the intermediate waypoints. We're going to be overflying with the airplane. We also have other aircraft flying around us. We have the magnetic heading and track again, the wind direction, and also our ground speed. And the next waypoint we have to be overflying, we have the RNP and the ANP, the required navigation performance, of the aircraft, the GPS position, and also the terrain and weather display. So we have the terrain map reflections with red, green, and yellow, and also the sea and lakes and rivers with blue. And we have also the autopilot and flight director system panel that displays that has the autopilot engages and disengages switches, the flight director engages and disengages switch. We have also the auto throttle left and auto throttle right, engage and disengage switch. We have the airspeed select knob for the airspeed guidance of the airplane, with the flight level change, the AT, the auto throttle hold switch, and the climb continue switch. We have some modes like fixed thrust modes, like climb continuous with climb continuous, fixed thrust or idle thrust for descent. And we have variable thrust modes for cruise and approach and landing. So I'm going to show you that later. We have also the LNAV and the VNAV, the lateral navigation, the vertical navigation modes of the autopilot and flight director system panel, the FDAs of the Boeing 777-300ER airplane. So we have also the bank angle limit hold switch and the heading hold switch. We have the heading select node. We have also the vertical rate of climb and descent of the aircraft slider knob. We have also this is in flight path angle in degrees FPA or in DS in vertical speed per minute, feet per minute, like tens, hundreds, and thousands of feet per minute. We have also the hold switch for this mode. We have the altitude select knob and the altitude hold switch, and the vol localizer for an Lszh localizer approach, for instance, and the approach switch also for the approach localizer of the auto-land function of this aircraft. So we have also the upper and the lower ACAS, engine indication controller system displays. I'm gonna show you now that display the FADEX indications from each left and right engine. That display the N1, which is low speed, low pressure compressor stage of the turbofan engine, the N2, which is the high speed, high pressure compressor stage of the turbofan engine. I'm going to show you later the exhaust gas temperature, the fuel flow per engine per hour in thousands of kilograms or pounds. Depends in the version of the aircraft that we have, the avionics. So we have also the oil temperature, pressure, quantity, and also the vibration of the N2 stage of the engine. I'm going to show you the flight management computers that we're going to use to create the route of the aircraft, the flight plan. I'm going to show you also the thrust levers. We use the thrust levers to activate the thrust to make the aircraft move in the ground and take off, and then use it for flying the aircraft. So I'm going to show you some other systems like the flaps, the horizontal stabilizer train, and also the flight control column, the control yoke of the Boeing 777-300ER airplane, the control yoke of the Boeing airplane, the control column, and the yoke of the airplane. So we have also the rudder pedals, and we have the tiller for the nozzle steering. So we use the yoke for the elevator and also the ailerons and the spoilers, and we use the rudder pedals for the vertical stabilizer. So we use the vertical stabilizer, also the rudder trim, and the horizontal stabilizer trim, as I told you. So I'm going to show you also that, the aileron trim, some other indication systems, and also I'm going to talk to you about the overhead panel. We have the electrical system, the left and the right engine, drive and generators that produce alternate current. We have the batteries, the APU starter. We have also the backup generator for electric power. We have the flight control computers and the process intercompensators, the ADIRU, the data units, the reference unit. I'm going to talk to you now with the primary flight display, the navigation display about the ADIRU system. I'm going to show you also the hydraulic left and right engine pumps, and also the engine driven, and also the air pressurizer hydraulic fluid tanks. And also I'm going to show you the runner turbine. I'm going to show you the electronic engine control for its left and right engine with the auto start system. I'm going to show you the fuel jettison system and the fuel tanks and pumps, the left wing, right wing, and the center tanks, and the on-side forward and off pumps, and the cross-feed valves. I'm going to show you also the fuel run, low and high pressure valves switches for the left and right engine. I'm going to show you also the wing and engine LDIs. I'm going to show you the left and right engine bleeder system, the pressurizer from each left and right engine. We use for cabin pressurization, wing and engine LDIs, air conditioning, and hydraulic fluid pressurization for the C1 and C2 system. And also we have the APU drive and pressurized air also valves we use mainly for engine start in the ground and as a backup in the air. So I'm going to show you also this system. I'm going to start now showing you the displays again one more time. Thank you very much for watching me. I'm Thomas Hatsios, the British American pilot flying the Boeing 777-300ER in tonight's flight. I'm also flying the F-22 fighter jets of the US Air Force and the F-18 in other videos, and the Boeing 737 and some other Airbus aircraft. So I'm going to start now showing you here. We have this is the PMDG simulation 777-300ER8. Boeing 777-300ER8 and the Microsoft Flight Simulator, simulation. So I'm gonna start showing you the whereabouts of the airplane. You can see inside the cockpit, the instruments, and the main layout of the cockpit. So I'm gonna start. So we have about an hour left for this flight, so I'm gonna start with the primary flight display. You can see the airspeed, the minimum airspeed indicated, the barometric altitude above the sea level, the ground speed, the target airspeed, and the target altitude displayed with the magenta color with purple color. From the autopilot and flight director system panel, the takeoff go around in the flight mode annunciator arm. For the auto throttle function, we have the flight director with the pitch loader in decrease and the bank angle limit. We have the vertical pitch loader and the horizontal bank limit. So we have the radio altitude above the ground level. Here -2, we have the heading, magnetic heading or drag, and the magnetic variation. I told you we have the barometric pressure altitude. We have the rate of climb and descent tape here of the airplane. We have the flight director, the LNAV and the VNAV. So I'm gonna show you later all these functions using the autopilot here guidance for the airplane. So you can see the modes here and the indications we have for airspeed, heading, altitude, and the vertical rate of climb and descent. Also displayed here in the primary flight display that displays all the air data information of the airplane. So we have all the air data information displays for the airplane using the ADIRU, the air data inertial reference unit. I'm going to show you now in the overhead panel. Once we use for inertial position of the aircraft using the GPS receivers and the gyroscopic laser gyroscopes, and also gyroscopic acceleration and deceleration rates of the aircraft. We have also for the altitude indicator, we have also the radio altitude above the ground level, the barometric pressure, altitude, and airspeed, and the rate of climb and descent using the pitot static and pitot anemometrics sensor, and the angle of attack sensor, and also maybe other indications like the magnetic heading and magnetic north pole to north pole variations and other stuff. So you can see all this information here, and here the GPS positioning, the inertial reference. All these are being controlled by this the air data control computer, the ADIRU system or data reference unit. So you have to use this switch to activate, to energize this system. So come here, you will see maybe better view of that. The overhead panel, so you can look here. We have this the ADIRU here. You can see our data reference unit, and we have other systems like the flight control computers. So I'm gonna show you later about these systems also. So I'm gonna come now in the autopilot information. You can see here. So I'm gonna come here and show you inside the virtual cockpit. So I'm gonna continue with that. So we have the navigation display here. You can see displays terrain reflections with green, red, and yellow. You can see the red here and the yellow is the Swiss Alps, the Switzerland, our own airport position here, and our aircraft position direction. We have the maximum altitude displayed like right now 6,100 feet with red and 0 feet with yellow, with green actually, and the intermediate with yellow. And we have you can see the airports here. This region here is the Switzerland, here is the France, and here is the Germany. So you can see the direction of the aircraft, 332 magnetic. So we have the distance rings here. You can see other aircraft flying around us using the transponder, and we have the ANP and the RNP, the acquired navigation performance and the required navigation performance. You can see the GPS. So this is our airport Lszh over here. We have some workstations and other data. So this is main functions. So I'm gonna come here, continue with these systems here. So we have about an hour left for this flight. So pretty much not much time. So you can see here we have the auto throttle and the flight director and the autopilot also this switch is for the airspeed guidance. You can use the flight level change and select. You can turn the flight director on and off like this. This is the flight director system. You can reset that like this by turning the flight director on and off. You can also depress these switches, sometimes to activate, sometimes to deactivate. Function, we have the autopilot, we have the auto throttle, flight continuous, nav and DNAV here. You can see all these are depressible actually. So we have also, we can use indicator airspeed or Mach. We can use heading or track here. So we can use the bank angle limit here for the aircraft for the autopilot to follow. When we are airborne, we can select a different heading. We're gonna use the heading of the runway we're gonna use for takeoff, 106 degrees for this runway. So I'm gonna use maybe these two values, and I'm gonna change the altitude here also. So you can see here we can select this by pressing this switch. Also, I'm gonna show you now we have a different kind of indications here, and I'm gonna show you how to use the autopilot. Also, we have heading, hold, and flight level change, speed 253, 35,300, and 136 as the headings. But we can also use this for the meters. This is the FS panel, electronic flight instrument panel, and select maybe hectopascals instead. So you will see now indication in meters, 35,300 feet or 7,710 meters. Our own altitude right now in this runway, 436 meters or 1,430 feet. So we have 1013 hectopascals right now for the barometric pressure, altitude, and airspeed. So we can change this back to inches of mercury. So you will see inches mercury here again, displayed to the 9.92. So we go back here and select maybe different modes, like we can select altitude, hold instead. Here we can select also a different mode. We can select here the vertical. I'm gonna show you, we have the VOR localizer here. This switch the approach for the autoland, and we have the VS or flight path angle. So you can select a flight path angle like descend or climb. You can select using the slider here. So you will see FPA now, flight path angle displayed as here, FPA here. You can also select heading, or you can select track. You will see the track now indicated here. So we have track, hold, and the flight path angle. With the flight director on, we can change again heading. We can change to vertical speed here in tens, thousands, or hundreds of feet per minute. So you can descend 3,000 feet per minute. You can climb 3,000 feet per minute or more. You have the arm mode for this heading also. I believe you can, yeah. So you have the VS now, and you have this indication now, this limit for the climb mode, and also this mark here is 3,000 feet per minute, 3,500. So we can use now the other mode again, flight level change. You see cancels, flight level change speed with this altitude. Heading, hold. We can use the autopilot now. We have the autopilot connected, so you will see the AP now over here. Flight level change speed with the AP on. So we have the autopilot connected. We can use this switch here to disengage it like this. You will see the APs disengaged, so we can move this back again. You can also move this control and deactivate. So you have the autopilot disconnect. You can see here. So we can either cancel the warning or reactivate the autopilot like this. We have the autopilot back on. So we can also use the autopilot disengage like this. You will see again the warning, the flight director is on, and the autopilot is disconnect. You can see in the upper ACAS. So we have like we can re-engage that. We can deactivate again. Just cancel the warning. So we have like we have like 45 minutes left for this video to end. So I'm gonna try to show you the more things that I can in one video. 45 minutes. So I have to be fast. I'm gonna show you the flight controls, the yoke. I'm gonna show you the thrust levers, how to activate the thrust. So I told you about the auto throttle, engage and disengage with the flight director. So you can see here the thrust levers. You can move one thrust lever at a time like this. You see, you can use variable thrust. So you have more thrust in one. You can cancel these. So you can use the speed brakes here. You can see to slow down the aircraft in flight or in the ground. So you run or extend the speed brakes. You have the horizontal tail, the pitch string here, nose down and nose up, and you can see the position, how many degrees you have, nose up and nose down. You have the parking brakes here, up and down. So this is the nose up and nose down, the pitch string. You can use this trim switch here in the control wheel of the airplane, the pitch up and pitch down. You can see it moves, so you can see the ailerons trims here, and the rudder trim, the vertical stabilizer. This is flight control surface, so you can see here the rudder trim and the aileron trim switches here, and here the rudder. So you can see also we have the weather radar and the terrain reflections radar. Here we have the radio communication panel. We have the transponder that displays our position to other aircraft and receives the ADS-B and ADS-C also. Receives from other aircraft position, altitude and heading. We have the fire extinguishers, the left and right engine. We have the fuel flow control for the left and the right engine. We have the horizontal stabilizer trim. I told you this one here and here. This is in case we have a failure of the hydraulic system, the CNDR, or either one. We can use the cutout switch to deactivate the electric trim function for the autopilot and the auto throttle system also. So you can see also we have, I told you, we have the flap settings here. This handle here, you can move up and down to change the flap request. So you will see the flaps also indicated here. The target flaps, we have it now 30 degrees of we have the landing gear up and down, so you can see the landing gear here, and also the alternate gear here, the ground proximity, other switches here. For the Boeing 777-300ER. So we have also the auto brake system, max auto, or the flap limit here. So we have the thrust levers here, the takeoff go around, and this is the auto throttle disconnect. This is the takeoff go around switches, and this is the thrust reverse. So in case you move this switch back, so you will arm the thrust reverse. It's gonna slow the aircraft down. You will see the reverse employed, the red with green. which for the engine function to slow down the airplane after landing during the touchdown or in the ground, so it extends the speed brakes also. So you'll see the thrust reversers employed here with the thrust reverse doors tend to follow the airplane thrust from the engine. So you can disarm this, move the thrust levers forward or arm again. You can see the exhaust of the engine. You can see the other side also, the forward position of this. You can arm and disarm on the thrust reverse at least. So this is so much for the thrust reverse of the airplane. I'm gonna show you a couple more things. So you can see the thrust, the engines, and here the vectors of the thrust. So I'm gonna talk to you about that later. So you can also move forward. You will disarm the speed brakes automatically. So it gives a signal to the FADEX. The FADEX are the full throttle digital electronic control computers. Now we have the forward thrust. You can see the green limits here for the N1, the low speed pressure stage of the turbofan turbojet engine with green, yellow and red, takeoff ground, fuel, some indications here, some warning, the exhaust gas temperature, the duct pressure from the left and the right engine, and the pressurizer. So we have about 30 minutes cabin altitude rate, the outflow valves, and the total fuel 103.9 thousand kilograms. So this is for the FADEX, the full authority electronic control computers of the engine, the left and right. We have the N1, which is low speed low pressure compressor stage of the turbofan engine, the exhaust gas temperature. The N2, which is the high speed high pressure compressor stage of the turbofan engine, the fuel flow, the FF per engine per hour, the oil pressure, oil temperature and oil quantity, and the vibration of the N2 stage of the engine. So I'm gonna show you also this. I'm gonna show you in the overhead panel. So when you move the thrust levers, you activate the thrust produced by the engines. So I'm gonna start now using the newtons per second instead of law of kinematics of motion, and also some physics and some aeronautical engineering and aerospace engineering. So I'm gonna talk to you about the thrust produced and also the lift from the wings. So I'm gonna start telling you about the FADEX. The FADEX are the full authority digital electronic control computers, one installed per engine, dual channel. If one channel fails, the other takes over. Dual channel redundancy that displays a monitor for the indication of function that is received from its engine. Turbofan turbojet engine. So the N1, which is the low speed low pressure compressor stage of the turbofan turbojet engine shaft. We have the low pressure compressor and turbine. We have the N2, which is the high speed high pressure compressor turbofan turbojet engine turbine and compressor. We have the exhaust gas temperature per engine, the fuel flow per engine per hour. We have the oil and also the oil quantity, oil pressure and oil temperature, and the vibration of the N2 stage of the engine. So this is controlled by the FADEX. Also the limits, the red and green limits for takeoff and for overspeeding the fans, the blades of the aircraft engines that are being rotated by the shaft of the turbines. So I'm gonna show you now the things. They also regulate of the outflow valves of the 5th and 9th stage of the bypass air, and inside the turbine, high pressure turbine and low pressure turbine and compressor. The high pressure turbine and compressor, we have an overpressure. It opens the outflow valve to relieve the overpressure. You have another pressure, it closes the outflow valves to regulate the rate of flow of compressed air from the engine. This is the compressor we use for cabin pressurization, for wing and engine APIs, air conditioning, and also for the hydraulic fluid C1 and C2 air pressurized tanks. We use for hydraulic fluid pressurization also. So this also affects the flight control of the aircraft and another system. So we have I'm going to show you this now. So I'm going to show you the thrust levers. So for this aircraft, the Boeing 737-300ER right now, we have 254,000 kilograms or 531,000 pounds of takeoff weight. This is below the maximum takeoff weight, and also we have 46,000 kilograms of fuel on board or 102,000 pounds, which is also below the maximum takeoff fuel weight, which is only 30% of the total. In the left and right wing and the center tank percentage, so I'm going to show you that also. And we have 30,000 kilograms of passenger and cargo, about 46,000 pounds, so this is also below the maximum takeoff weight. So in total 254,000 kilograms or 531,000 pounds. We need in the runway for takeoff to use 15 degrees of flat and 4 degrees of horizontal tail stabilizer trim. So we need to accelerate to an airspeed of 154 knots or 270 kilometers an hour just for takeoff. So this is going to create the necessary lift from the wings using the airflow, the airstream of the air as the aircraft accelerates to this airspeed. It's going to create the pressure in the wings to move the aircraft upwards into the air, to bubble up into the airplane. So they're going to overcome the wings of the airplane. The airfoil is going to overcome the stall speed. The stall speed is the airspeed at which the airfoil of the aircraft given an angle of attack. As it flies, it's not going to create the necessary lift for takeoff and for flying. It's going to make the aircraft fall back into the ground. So we have to overcome the stall speed during the whole flight, given the conditions of the thrust, the altitude of the aircraft, the pitch altitude and the burn altitude and the flaps. So this varies for each condition. So we need to create the necessary lift, 270 kilometers an hour just to take off, a little bit higher maybe for landing, and during the whole flight this is going to be our airspeed. So I'm going to show you that also. So we're going to use the thrust lever for that to control the engine thrust to make the aircraft acquire the necessary kinetic energy. So I'm going to show you also the upside view of the wings and the flight control. So you can see here actually the thrust like this, moving the thrust levers forward. You can see we're now configured for takeoff now. So we have the target here. The target position of the thrust levers, you can see now moving to the idle. So we have some difference, it takes some seconds for the engine to spool up or spool down to the target desired thrust. So this is some delay time. We have also, you can see the upside view. I'm going to talk to you about the flight controls of the airplane right now. So you can see we have the wings of the aircraft. Here we have the position where each left and right engine is being installed. There's the wing for thrust symmetry is parallel to the vector of the aircraft flying. So these the turbofan turbojet engines can only move they can only move the aircraft forward, cannot move it up. So we need the airflow from the airstream as we accelerate to the takeoff speed to create the necessary lift force. The lift force is equal or higher to the weight of the aircraft, to the mass of the aircraft times the acceleration of the gravity. So we need to overcome the stall speed and the weight of the aircraft. So you can see the wings, the forward wings here, the whole the weight of the aircraft as the aircraft flies. You divide the aircraft weight by the total surface area of the wings. This creates the lift equation. So I'm gonna talk to you. I told you about The Newton's physics for second and third law of kinematics, the Bernoulli theory of fluids, and also other principles of physics and mathematics and aeronautical and aerospace engineering. So I'm going to derive some principles about the aircraft flight theory of the Boeing 777, and maybe perhaps most aircraft. So you can see here we have the wings, as I told you. We have the max, the mean aerodynamic chord position, which is about 35% of the chord of the aircraft, usually for the passenger and airliner aircraft. So this is the position where we have also the center of gravity of the airplane. About here we have also the maximum aerodynamic lift position here. So you can see the wings, they have this shape. You can see the bottom surface of the wings is more flat, so as the aircraft accelerates to the takeoff airspeed 270 kilometers an hour or higher, 208, 290, so you will see the airstream, the flat surface of the bottom of the wings creates the airspeed of the airflow of the air is moving slower. We have lower airspeed below the wings due to the Bernoulli theory. So this creates higher air pressure below the wing, which bubbles up the aircraft up into the air. And you can see the top surface of the wing is more curved. It has a higher curvature, so using the Bernoulli principle again for the air flow, the jet stream, the air is going to travel faster above the wing, so we're going to have lower air pressure. So we have lower airspeed and higher pressure below the wing, the flat surface, and we have higher airspeed and lower air pressure above the wing and the curved surface of the wings. So this is what makes the aircraft flyable to create the necessary lift force. It's going to bubble the air into the aircraft into the air. So we also have the moment arm and other forces. We have deflection of the flight controls and of the jet stream as the aircraft flies. So we can make you can have this directional control of the aircraft. So you can make the aircraft bang roll, you can climb, descend. So you use the moment arm. The moment arm is from the center of gravity. You can use the center of gravity, as I told you, here in the mean aerodynamic core position, the maximum also lift position of the wing, and the stall speed calculation position. So center of gravity, you can move it forward or up by shifting passenger and cargo. This is a position also you transverse all the axes, like the moment arm axis, all the way from the center of gravity all the way back to the horizontal tail of the aircraft. So you can see the surface area of the horizontal or the vertical tail, the elevator and the rudder. The moment arm is times the distance from the center of gravity all the way back to the horizontal and vertical tail times the airflow of the air mass per second. As you pitch up the aircraft, or you pitch down as you climb and descend, or you want to make a turn to the left or a turn to the right, or use the ailerons for that, neither left and right wing, so you use other vectors. So it's the distance from the center of gravity over the surface area of the horizontal or vertical wing stabilizer or elevator or rudder. So it's times the airflow per second, the air mass flow per second, times the acceleration of gravity. So this is how simple this principle is for the flying theory of the aircraft. So it's not like other flying machines, so the engines only move it forward, the airliner airplane, as you can see. I'm gonna show you now inside the flight controls, how to use the flight controls to have control, directional or other, or change the position of the aircraft in the air. So you can climb, you can descend, you can bangle left and bangle right, and use the rudder pedal also for directional control and steering. So I'm gonna talk to you now about the flight controls. As you can see, I'm having here, I'm gonna show you now the flight control, the side stick I'm using for the flight controls for controlling the aircraft in this simulation. So this makes the yoke of the Boeing 7 controllable in this simulation. So you can see I'm using this size, the Logitech Extreme 3D. You can climb or descend and barrel left and right, and also use the rudder pedals, just like in the original airplanes. So you can use the elevator, pitch up and pitch down. You can barrel the ailerons and the spoilers of the aircraft. Barrel left, barrel right, hold neutral. Use the rudder pedals also. You can see the rudder pedals. So you can see the proportional movement of the side stick over here to the yoke of the Boeing 777. Also the other side control. So you can also use the thrust levers here to increase the thrust. You can see here. You can use the horizontal stabilizer trim here and the flap settings. So I hope you like this side stick, the Logitech Extreme 3D, which is mainly for Airbus. You can use it for Boeing also. So you have the control of the airplane like this, just like in the original aircraft, for the Microsoft Flight Simulator and the PMDG simulation. Boeing 777-300. So I'm gonna show you now the outside view of the flight controls, how to have the steering of the airplane. So I'm gonna show you now this thing, and then I'm gonna make the engine start demonstration, show you the overhead panels. So you can see again here we have this principle of the flight control of this side stick and the yoke inside the airplane. So you can see the proportional movement. Pitch up and pitch down the elevator, the rudder pedals, the vertical stabilizer, and also the ailerons and the spoilers in the left and right wing, and the flaperons of the airplane. So you can see here the flight control surfaces movement here. So we can climb like this, you can descend, hold neutral and change position left and right. So every surface here moves accordingly to what I'm doing with this side stick. As you can see, so you have full control of the airplane. Also like this. So I'm gonna come now inside the airplane. So this is so much for the flight control. So I'm gonna come inside, show you the overhead panel and the multifunction display, the upper and below aircraft, other systems like the electrical and the hydraulic, and the pressurizer, and then make the engine start demonstration and set up the flight plan of the aircraft for the small flight. So we have about 18 plus 30 more minutes. So I'm gonna make this a little bit faster. So this is so much for the flight controls, steering. I told you this principle. So I'm gonna come now to the rest. You can see here we have the overhead panel I told you earlier. I'm gonna show you this nice view now. Here we have the overhead upper panel. I told you we have this. These are for maintenance in the ground. These are secret breakers. If you can pop out, if they pop out, you can reset them for some systems, or you can change them. Some of them. So this is the electrical system of the aircraft. So you have the left and the right engine, alternators connect drives here, and the backup generators connect drives. So you can have the disconnect drive. If we have a failure, you can drive disconnect. You open this switch here. We're not gonna move this now, then it's gonna deactivate the system. So you have the starter of the APU here, the auxiliary power unit. They have the battery and the APU generator on left and right bus, secondary external and primary external power, and we have the ADIRU data server here, the processing compensator, the flight control computers. So you keep going with that. We have all the overhead panels here, as you can see. Also we have these views here. So We have the ground proximity, the passenger oxygen, the window heat, the rammer turbine. You have a failure in the hydraulic seals, the hydraulic. We have the engine drive and turn on and off like this. In the other position, we're gonna lose some time now, showing the whole principle. So maybe do it in another flight. We have some passenger on the inside and the outside light, and the windshield wipers. So this is for the lighting of the aircraft, the outside lighting. So this is the hydraulic system, the electrical system, the passenger oxygen here, and this is the cargo fire and APU fire extinguishers. We have electronic engine control for the engines, the normal and the alternate modes that control the fabrics. So you can turn on and off here. This also use the auto start, so you can use the on and off switch here for this controller. So we have the fuel jettison. We can dump fuel in flight, select the fuel to remain. If we arm this, we have the crossfeed for forward and aft for the left and the right wing, and the center tanks also. So you can use the pumps here on and off. You can see the left and the right, the pressure. You can see the message here, the pressure. So you can turn off. The center tanks are empty. We have the wing and engine at the ice. I'm gonna show you also, this is the pressurizer. Here's the pressurization air panel. We have the bleeder from the left and right engine, the APU, and the cabin pressurization system. So I'm gonna come here in the electric system. You can turn on and off these switches here. You can turn off, you can see. So you will see here the electric system, this warning here that comes out in the upper ACAS. We have electric generator off left and off right, and the systems, the backup system. So this is another view of the multifunction display here of the cockpit. We have a better view. You can use the same view or the other. So you have also the autopilot panel here and the assist panel, a better view of the system. So we reconnect this, and I'm gonna show you now. I'm gonna make it faster. We have not much time. So this is the left and the right engine, the pressurizer. You can turn on and off the systems, and also the APU. We're gonna use the APU pressurizer for engine start. If we turn off every system of the pressurizer, you're gonna see the warnings here in the upper ACAS. Bleeder, isolation, close, and engine right. And we're gonna have also the hydraulic pressure here, demand C1 and C2 also deactivated. So we're gonna lose also the cabin pressurization like that if we turn off the outflow valves. So you can see the Boeing 777 our airplane. So I'm gonna come here, reactivate all this bleeder from the left and the right engine, and the APU. Also you can see the cabin pressurization here. We can turn on and off the controllers. We can climb, descend, open and close the outflow valves. So this pressurizer, cabin pressurization, wing and engine at the ice here. You can see wing and engine at the ice here, on and off, and automatic position also. C1, C2 hydraulic, and engine start. So this is the main principle of the overhead panel. So maybe I come here and show you. You can see this beautiful view of the Boeing 777 again. The disconnect here, the fuel control, these switches for the engine. We can arm the engine forward, okay. So you will see the target airspeed starts again. So this is so much for this. Also we're gonna use the flaps up to the 15 degrees here for takeoff. For this weight you're gonna see 15 degrees displayed here. We have the outflow pressure, also the fuel quantity total, and the landing gear over here. So this is the main principle for the cockpit. I'm gonna come now in the CDU. I'm gonna show you the CDU now, the display. So we have the Boeing 777. You can see the displays. We have the engine, we have the status here. You can see the APU is on, running the hydraulic, the oxygen, the parts, the checklist here. We have the normal menu before takeoff, what to do, normal menu before start, complete these items. So if we have a failure also in one system, the checklist now is complete. We have the non-normal systems here. So we go back into the normal. We have also the communications, the navigation, the synoptics here. The doors are closed and the cabin of the aircraft is pressurized. The landing gear, you can see the pressure inside the tires and the temperature of the brakes. We have the electric, the left engine drive and the right engine drive, and the backup generators, the APU, the main battery voltage. So I did not talk to you about this, the upper left and the right engine. So when the engines work, the aircraft also produce the thrust to move the aircraft forward. They also produce electromagnetic induction to move the electromagnetic inductors that produce alternate current, left and right engine, in the gearbox using the shaft rotation. They move the electromagnetic inductors, 120 to 200 volt alternate current, 400 Hz frequency, constant frequency, and 130,000 kilovolts each left and right engine, 25,000 kilovolts the backup generators, and another 130,000 kilovolts from the APU. We can convert this 120 to 100 volts 400 Hz frequency alternate current direct current using the transformer rectifiers. We have also the battery, 28 volts 48 amperes from the APU battery. We can convert the direct current from the battery to alternate with static inverters. Also the engines move the hydraulic pumps, and we have also the pressurizer from the engines that compresses the hydraulic fluid, C1 and C2 systems. So this is some of the systems we have. I told you electromagnetic induction by calling it a cell phone. So I'm gonna show you now the systems here in the CDU. You can see the left engine drive, the connect, and the main battery volts here. So we have about you can see main battery 27 volts and is charging, and the APU battery, the backup generators, and some other systems. The APU is on. So we have also the hydraulic systems here. So you can see in the hydraulic system, you can see the consumption of hydraulic fluid, 3000 psi each left and right engine. The backup, also the electric and the air pressurized here, the demand. So you can see the shut-off valves, the isolation valves. So this is some of the systems, like the flight controls that use hydraulic power. We have also the fuel here. You can see the left and the right engine, the left wing and the right wing. Tanks 50,800 pounds, 101,000 pounds for 12,000 kilograms minimum fuel temperature, and the standard tank is empty with yellow crosses. You can see it's zero, no fuel. So we have also the APU is consuming some fuel, and here is the left and right engine with the low and high pressure fuel valves open. So this is the left and the right engine. Here is the air system, pressurized air. You can see the duct pressure from the left and the right engine, also the hydraulic C1 and C2 pressurizer. This is the APU. We're gonna use the APU for starting the engine. Also air conditioning. I told you the temperature inside the cockpit and the cabin, and also cabin pressurization. So if we increase the thrust from the engine, so you're gonna see the duct pressure here increases and now decreases the duct pressure. So see this value. So we go on the flight controls. We have also the flight controls. So you can see here I can move either flight control, pitch up and pitch down, the rudder. So I can extend the spoilers, and also you can see I'm moving this around. So this is working right now. There is no failure. All this. on the other side. So you have also here another nice view here of the aeroplane. So we'll go back. You can see also the trim stabilizer here. So we go back into the modes. We go into the engine. So we're gonna make the engine start demonstration now. I'm gonna restart the engine, turn off the engine and restart them. So I'm coming here in the virtual cockpit again. So I'm gonna turn on some lighting. So we have less time right now for this. I'm gonna turn off both engines. We're gonna see this turns off all systems. It's gonna turn on the warnings. So you can see zero fuel flow here. Zero fuel flow is decreasing. Also here the engine shut down. You can monitor here the outside view. So you can see the fans here are stopped moving in a while. So we have less rotation. So I'm gonna turn on the auto start system very quickly. We have not much time for this. Left and right engine here. So this is gonna activate the pressurizer from the APU. You will see here the pressurizer, the N1 increases and the exhaust gas temperature, the N2 above 20%, fuel flow is still 0. So we have the necessary spinning here to the left and the right wing engine now. You can see it's increasing. So we can use the fuel flow to the engine, left and right engine. Fuel flow on. So we start the engine now. You will see the fuel flow from 0 increase rapidly. So here we go. We have the engine spinning quite fast. We can now go for takeoff. We only left one item to complete here. We have the flap set and the stabilizer trim set. We only need to set up this flight management computer very quickly this time. So the FMC, we have the position initialized. You can see the model, the identity Boeing 777. So we set the inertial position reference and Lszh this airport. We go in the zero fuel weight, gross weight automatically inserted, and the flight altitude 25,300 feet, cost index 100%, reserves 5% of the total fuel, and we have the route here from this airport, Lszh, back into this airport and Lszh, runway 14. So we have the legs, the departure and the arrival. So you use our Lszh localizer 14 transmit to alpha, and arrival general English 14 transmit real 1 alpha transsummit. So you have the complete route. You cancel with discontinuity, activate and execute. So only one last step here. We have the flaps for takeoff 15 degrees, center of gravity 36%, and you have the takeoff reference V1 132, V rotate 140 in V. You can see the takeoff reference here. So you have the route, you have the initialized and the legs, and we're ready for takeoff. Only one last step, we need to taxi into the runway. So this is gonna take a couple of minutes only. So we are almost for takeoff. You can see where we are. We need to taxi here into the runway. So we come here, disarm the parking brakes and activate the thrust levers. So we're gonna use this tiller here for steering into the ground. You can use moving the nose wheel like this. Use the tiller. So we go into the runway. We have a couple more. We have like 14 more minutes for this flight. How much time? So we're ready for takeoff. Only one last step. Parking brakes again set. We can see we have here the displays already. All the indications, 40 nautical miles. The range, the LNAV here. We can increase the thrust here for takeoff. So you can see the outside view where we are right now and where we're going. So we're ready for takeoff. Only disarm the parking brakes and go. We have stabilized the engine. Use more thrust now for takeoff. And here we go. We use the tiller for steering a little bit more, up to 100 knots perhaps. Now we use the rudder pedals. We have effective flight control. 130 knots, V1, we rotate, and we go. We take off. So here we go. We have the takeoff of the airplane. We have the positive rate of climb, as you can see. So we go for takeoff for now. You can see we have here the thrust is fixed for takeoff. We are 1,400-600 feet above the ground level. Keep climbing. 2,400 feet above the ground, but 4,600 feet above the sea level. This is the stall speed, the green and the yellow and the red, and this is the airspeed we have right now. We need to level off for a while, so you can see the rate of climb here, how fast we climb. So we have to avoid stalling the airplane here like this. You can see the waypoints we have to follow. So this is how close we come into the stall speed. We need to level off for a while to increase the airspeed to avoid the stall, like this. So we have like 11 more minutes left for this flight, not much time. So we retract the landing gear, so you can see where we are right now. Not much time for this flight. I'm not having the necessary video time to record everything, so hope you like here the Boeing 777 300 ER. We're moving with about 500 kilometers an hour right now. We're about 250 meters per second. So this is the Boeing 777 300 ER, 500 kilometers an hour, 250 meters per second, crossing 11,000 feet above the ground level, above the sea level actually. So this is also we're flying this area now. We have this nice night view, as you can see. The star sign here, the galaxy. So this is our spacecraft for tonight, the Boeing 777 300 ER airplane. So maybe we need to climb a little bit higher. Also fix the next waypoint as we steer. We have 10 more minutes left for this flight. So I need to climb a little bit faster with higher rate. So we're gonna be overflying 15,000 feet. We're gonna cross the first waypoint here. $18,000. Level off to increase the airspeed. We go into the stall speed again. We need to avoid the stall, as I told you. So we level off to increase the floor component of the kinetic energy of the aircraft. You can see the max speed now. We're gonna cross this waypoint now, the Zui, on the 19,000 feet. So this is how we steer the airplane. We have like 8 more minutes left for this flight. So we crossed 31,000 feet. We keep climbing. As you can see, how we steer, how we control the airplane. We fly 31,000. We go 600 kilometers an hour, 22,000, 33,000, almost. So we have the chemtrails now. So here we are, 33,000 feet, flying with about 600 kilometers an hour, and we have the chemtrails now. The display, we can level off actually if we want. So this is our spacecraft for tonight. We have this beautiful display. We can also retract the flaps now, I believe. So we're moving over the St. Gallen Lake. We move to the Bayern Munich, the Germany area. So we need to turn back into the airport as we fly. We have like 10 more minutes left for this flight. So you can see Germany in front of us, the Bayern Munich area, the Bavaria Alps also. So going back into the airport now. We need also to retract the flaps here. So we need to stay here in this altitude like this. With this higher airspeed maybe. So we need to go back to the airport now. So we can use the nav and L nav or flight level change, whatever we like. And we have like maybe a few more minutes. We cross the 39,000 feet, 39,000 feet, 28,000 feet here. We're going back into the airport. And, we have like maybe like 6 more minutes left for this flight. So we need to descend faster right now. So this is so much for this is our spacecraft for tonight, the Boeing 777. We fly with 900 kilometers an hour right now. So we're going back to the airport. As you can see, we need to descend. So we need to descend here. We need also to decrease the airspeed now. As we're coming down automatically for the landing. We have not too much simulation time left over, so we need to increase the simulation rate. We have like 4 more minutes left. So I have not much time to do almost Now activate nothing, only use the landing gear down. We're going for a rapid approach and landing. Also use all the flaps here. And decrease the airspeed even further. So this is we going back into the airport. We have like 3-4 more minutes left. So we overflying the river here. You can see the star sign again. We have to reach a lower altitude here as we come into descent. So we have a couple more minutes left. Like we have 2 more minutes actually left. Not much time. So you can see the Lszh localizer here. We are aligned with the Lszh localizer. We need to come closer and closer. You can see the Lszh localizer here, all the information that we have. We are approaching and we are almost aligned. Only one small alignment step. So we go now, we are almost there into the runway. We have maybe one more last minute left. Increase the thrust now. Going faster. You can see the Lszh localizer information, but we go also VFR. So here we are. Thirty, 10. So here we are. Just touched down. Parking brakes and reverse thrust. So we have the reverse here, and we're slowing down into the runway. So this is so much for this flight. We made a beautiful approach and landing here into the runway 14, Zurich International Airport. Just touched down. So you can see we have all the indications are normal. You can see also the nose wheel here. We have no breakage in the tires or the strut, just like some other people are doing with their airplane. When touching down for landing. Also the landing gear, the left and the right landing gear. So the nose wheel is normal and the tires are normal. So we can take off, go around one more time. So this is so much for this flight. So that was Thomas Hatsios, the British American pilot flying the Boeing 777-300ER international flight. So thank you very much for watching. We just landed. We made a beautiful, nice landing. We can just take off and go around. So thank you very much. Bye bye. You can see everything is normal inside the cockpit.